Hello. The weather across the west of Europe is still pretty mild for the time of year, but we've got some colder air meanwhile further east up towards the likes of Finland. But this weather front sweeping in from the west will introduce something a little bit cooler as we head through the next couple of days. Higher pressure building for much of Spain up towards France and Germany. Could be some fog patches through the course of the weekend. Further south, here's an area of low pressure in the central Mediterranean, bringing some strong winds and heavy showers and thunderstorms as well, particularly affecting southern parts of Italy on Saturday. Things looking a little bit drier for Turkey as showers clear towards the east. There's that unsettled and stormy weather for the central Mediterranean, but much quieter towards Spain and Portugal, where it's largely dry and settled. We have got a front moving into the UK, so turning windy with some rain arriving there. Mostly dry at the moment, a dry window of weather for much of Scandinavia, but we will see that weather front bringing some rain and some snow later on Sunday. So that front sweeping south across the UK into parts of France, down towards Portugal as well. Heavy downpours in the Mediterranean, sweeping southeastwards into Greece, Croatia, heading down towards Cyprus too. So the outlook then for London and Paris, things are turning a little bit drier, but also colder into the course of next week, remaining mostly dry and settled for both Madrid and for Rome over the next 5 days or so. Further east across Europe, things also turning colder and pretty unsettled with plenty of showers in Athens. Bye-bye. Hello. We've had some fairly heavy rain across some southern states over recent days, particularly for Thanksgiving Day, as an area of low pressure has been pushing its way eastward. You can see it here. That's going to be slowly clearing away towards the east over the next few days. Another area of low pressure developing behind it across Texas and New Mexico as well. Some snow over the higher ground there. To the north of that, high pressure in charge for many central areas. Still some fairly brisk Santa Ana winds for southern parts of California. They will be easing into the weekend. And towards the northwest into parts of Canada, we've got weather systems moving in, so still quite unsettled across parts of British Columbia with rain and mountain snow, turning colder here again from the northwest. We've got this line of rain and mountain snow also pushing across Washington state into Oregon, but still a high risk of fire across parts of southern California with those Santa Ana winds around, but they will be easing out through the weekend. We've got that wet weather clearing from Vancouver, but still affecting Seattle by Sunday, looking dry for San Francisco and Los Angeles too. Some fairly heavy snowfall and brisk winds at times across parts of Quebec towards New Brunswick as well. Rain clearing away from the east coast of the United States, but just still lingering down close to Myrtle Beach, for instance. Largely dry for much of Florida, but some heavy scattered showers developing across the lower Mississippi Valley over the next few days. So here's the outlook, and a lot of areas seeing some wet weather reaching the east by Sunday. Bye-bye. Hello. We've seen further heavy downpours across parts of western Colombia and more heavy showers to come there over the next few days. Meanwhile, further south across South America and an area of low pressure, quite a slow moving frontal region here you can see across central and eastern parts of Brazil. That's going to be sticking around. In fact, over 5 days there could be up to about 200 millimetres of rain falling in a few spots, including close to Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. So some localised flooding possible there. Further south into the continent and things are looking much drier for the likes of Bolivia into Paraguay as well. But further north you can see where we've got those heavy downpours of green colours indicating some heavy showers and some thunderstorms as well. Head further south then, that dry weather continues through Argentina and Uruguay as well. There will be some scattered showers across parts of Chile, still blustery with some mountain snow for the southern Andes. But Rio de Janeiro certainly looking pretty wet over the next few days. Lots of heavy downpours, drier for Buenos Aires, and temperatures are going to be on the rise there through into next week. Across Mexico, 1 or 2 scattered showers through central areas, could be 1 or 2 for Mexico City. Largely dry for the Yucatan Peninsula, but some heavier showers further south into Nicaragua, Honduras as well. And across the Caribbean, quite a lot of dry, settled weather for parts of Cuba towards Hispaniola as well, but we might see the chance of just the odd shower cropping up at times. But largely dry and sunny in Kingston for the next few days, few heavy downpours in San Salvador. Bye-bye. Hello. The remnants of Storm Denise have been clearing out of the Mediterranean and moving across the Middle East, bringing some really stormy weather. We had heavy downpours in Jeddah, for instance. Now that system's still sticking around, but just slowly moving across the likes of Iraq into Iran now as well. Meanwhile, across Africa, some heavy downpours here and there. Let's start with South Africa. You can see the rain developing here in the east, and there'll also be some heavy showers further north up towards Zambia, for instance, too. To the north of Africa, we've got some Heavy downpours affecting parts of Tunisia, northern Algeria, sweeping in towards Libya through the weekend as well. Could be some big thunderstorms and squally winds and colder air moving in from the northwest too. So here's the outlook, and in Cape Town those temperatures are going to be picking up over the next few days. 32 degrees the top temperature there by the time we get to Monday. Still a few showers for Johannesburg, but they should clear away. Things turning cooler in Marrakesh with that cooler air moving in from the northwest, and Kinshasa will see a few heavy downpours at times. Now here's the remnants of that storm Denise, easing away from the likes of Jeddah where we saw the heavy downpours, but still bringing a few showers for northern Syria, Iraq and into Iran as well. Further south across the Gulf things are looking drier and more settled, and we'll just start to see a bit of a Shamal breeze picking up through the weekend, but nothing too strong there. And things will be turning a few degrees cooler for the likes of Riyadh and Kuwait into next week. Bye-bye. Hello. The weather is quite cold and wintry at the moment across parts of Central Asia, including across Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, further south, slightly warmer, drier weather. Much of India looking largely settled at the moment. We've got this area of cloud on the satellite image. There's a few showers just clearing away from the west coast there. More showers also developing in the Bay of Bengal, mainly a little bit further east across the likes of Myanmar and Thailand as well. They could sweep their way further west into next week. But for the here and now, just a few scattered showers building up through the day in the south for parts of Kerala and Karnataka, and also for Tamil Nadu and across Sri Lanka. But as we head into Central Asia, there is that cold air in place. Nur Sultan, the warmest on Saturday, is going to be around -24°C. Not quite as cold as we head further south for Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan in towards Pakistan as well. Lots of sunshine into the northwest of India, but there are those showers down the west coast affecting Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Largely dry, I think, for Mali. A few scattered showers across Sri Lanka and one or two pushing in towards Chennai, but nothing particularly heavy, and certainly dry up towards West Bengal and across Bangladesh too. So here's the outlook, and it's a dry, settled one for Mumbai, Dhaka and Islamabad, but there will be a few showers coming and going at times for Colombo over the next 5 days or so. Tashkent turns colder and more unsettled from around midweek onwards. Bye-bye. Hello. There's been some very heavy rain across southern and eastern parts of China over recent days, and there's more of that to come for the Guangdong province, for instance. You can see this line of cloud here on the satellite image. It's going to be quite slow moving, producing more heavy downpours. Further south down towards Indonesia, Malaysia and the Philippines, the showers are going to be pretty heavy over the course of the weekend as well. Meanwhile, high pressure holds on across the northeast of China and the Korean peninsula. It's going to turn much colder here into next week. For Japan, a few heavy showers around, particularly for Honshu and Hokkaido too. Then as we head further south, we're back into that area of heavy rain. Hong Kong seeing some wet weather through the course of Saturday, and some downpours across the Malay peninsula into much of Indonesia too. Here's the outlook then for Osaka. Things looking largely dry for the next few days, but turning more unsettled again later next week, and turning colder for the likes of Beijing and for Seoul into next week too. Looking across Australia now, largely dry for much of Western Australia, relatively cool in Perth compared to the warm weather that we've seen recently. Meanwhile, we've got showers crossing the Bight, heading towards Adelaide, Melbourne too, and some heavy downpours from the Kimberley across the top ends around the Bay of Carpentaria as well, but a drier day for Brisbane and Sydney. Meanwhile, heavy showers for the South Island of New Zealand pushing their way northwards. So some showers are in the forecast for Wellington at times, things turning warmer in Perth. Bye-bye.